Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Recently, there's been a lot of conversation circulating on Facebook regarding a potential data center coming to Greencastle. Because there was so much concern and conflicting information online, I decided to attend the recent township meeting to see the facts for myself and document the discussion for those of you who couldn't make it. I want to be clear right up front. Based on this meeting, there is currently no data center project planned for Greencastle. Their goal, in my opinion, was to make the requirements stricter to address citizen concerns for the future rather than clearing the way for a new development. Things got a little tense at times, but as you'll see, there was some confusion about why I was there filming, but my goal was simply to get the truth, and here's footage of that discussion so you can see exactly what the township's intentions are for the land and the community.
Yep.
Okay. Welcome everybody to the regular meeting of the Antrim Township Board of Supervisors. Today is January the 27th. The time is 7:02 p.m. The meeting is being audio recorded and will be on the website within a day or so. I have to report that there was an exec meeting at 6:30 this evening to talk about legal matters. Right now, I have to ask you, Chad, will you lead us in prayer and the pledge?
Yes, sir. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we gather here this evening. We just thank you, first of all, for the safety you've provided for all of our workers and all the people in the township. We ask that your protection covers all of us, cover those that are cold, those that are struggling with the weather at this point. Ask for your protection for everyone that is out protecting us right now, whether it be fire, EMS, police, our own road crews, the state, everybody that's out providing service to protect us from elements or any wrongdoing. We ask for everyone in this room this evening to be protected by your hedge and just keep civil minds and let the conversation be cordial. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At the present time, I'd like to ask somebody to make a motion to recess the regular meeting for the fact of having a public hearing to receive testimony on proposed changes to Chapter 150 zoning, and the time is 7:04.
Motion approved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now I call the Tuesday, January 27th, 2026 public hearing to order at 7:04 p.m. for the purpose of hearing public comments on the amendment of Chapter 150 entitled zoning. The amendment defines battery energy source systems and data center, changes to 10 parcels containing approximately 104 acres from highway commercial to industrial, removes warehouses and distribution centers from highway commercial zoning, and adds data centers and battery energy storage systems as conditional use in the industrial zoning district. To all those present today that wish to testify or offer comments concerning the matter before us, please stand and raise your hand to be sworn in. Anyone who does not stand and raise their hand will not be acknowledged. So even if you think there's a possibility, please stand. Anybody else? Okay. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If so, please answer, I do.
I do.
Be seated, please. All testimony should be presented directly to this board by those who have been sworn in. When you are recognized, please clearly state your full name and address. We will first hear from the zoning officer.
Sylvia House, 10655 Antrim Church Road. The proposed ordinance was advertised in accordance with the law. Public notices were mailed to the property owners, and notices were posted on each parcel in noticeable locations. And that is all required by law. The ordinance was drafted to define battery energy storage systems and data centers. As previously read, it also proposes changing 10 parcels from highway commercial to industrial. The purpose of that is so that those 10 parcels do not create non-conforming uses. They are all approved to have warehouses on those parcels, or they've already been built and are being used as warehouses. So we do not want to create non-conforming uses wherever we can avoid it. So those 10 parcels, there's 2 parcels, one's owned by the Conservancy, and the other one is owned by the Greencastle Area Franklin County Water Authority. Those are being changed for consistency so that we do not create spot zoning, but it doesn't affect their uses. They are still protected areas. They're within the water protection area, and changing their zoning will not affect their use. The ordinance also removes warehouses and distribution centers from the highway commercial zoning district. The only zoning district they will be permitted in will be industrial. This also adds data centers and battery energy storage systems to the industrial zoning district as a conditional use. That means that if somebody chooses to come here and wants to propose a data center, they will have to make application and there will be a public hearing. At that public hearing, we have the right to put conditions on that use. If we do not list data centers anywhere in our ordinance, then they would be allowed to go wherever they wanted to, so long as they could claim that it is a reasonable location for their use. We do not want that to happen in the township, so we want to limit them to the industrial zoning district only. And by putting them in as a conditional use, we can put conditions on them that will address public health, safety, and welfare. It can address power usage, water usage, cooling water discharges, and so many other things that may come up as a result of their location. So this is a protection to the township. As time goes on, we intend to continue to research data centers and put specific language in the ordinance, but we don't want to wait and delay adding them somewhere, because if somebody would come now, they could go anywhere. So this is a protection that would allow us to say they can only go in industrial, and we still, even though we're not listing conditions now, we can still put those conditions on them through the hearing process. We have received letters from the Planning Commission, the Antrim Township Planning Commission, and the Franklin County Planning Commission, both supporting the adoption of the ordinance as written, and those letters are in your file. I've spoken to the property owners that are having their properties changed from highway commercial to industrial, and they do not have concern as long as it is adopted as written. So I encourage the board to pass a motion to adopt this ordinance as written, so that we can afford the protections that it adds.
Thank you, Sylvia. One housekeeping thing too before we get started. Everybody that's here, have you signed in on the paper out in the foyer?
It's out of room.
Flip it over on the back and sign it. Anybody who hadn't signed it, just flip it over and write it on your way out. It'll help you with the spelling of names.
And we don't have a stenographer or anything here to do tonight, so our wonderful secretary treasurer is taking all the notes. And
Talk slow when you say your name. Thank you.
And whenever you stand, please give your name and address. Okay. Do members of this board have any questions of the zoning officer at this time?
My name is Chairman.
Mr. Young?
Just for clarification, mostly for the people here, Sylvia, I'm going to ask you a question I don't know the answer to. So in regards to the data centers, are we required to have a particular zone that they must be allowed to apply to be built in Antrim Township?
We are not allowed to prohibit any use, so we have to provide a location somewhere for them in the township.
And this is by the Municipal Plannings Code?
That is correct.
And second question, are there any proposed at this time?
No.
That's the only questions I have. That's one.
Okay, members of the audience may now offer testimony. When you're called, please state your full name and address. Bob?
I'll come up here. This is working?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. My name is Bob Colladanato, 184 Rocky Fountain Drive, Greencastle. I don't have any objections to changing the properties that are listed to industrial. However, I do have some comments about identifying battery energy storage systems and data centers in the ordinance. These two uses have a known problem with excessive noise.
Yes.
And that noise goes on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So it's all day, all night. And currently, the township does not have a zoning ordinance. So even though it's a conditional use, at some point, you'll have to address noise, I believe. And I would suggest that the township try to come up with a zoning ordinance now to have it in effect if and when any of these show up. There are other townships within Pennsylvania that have had problems with noise, and they did not have a zoning ordinance. And then they have to negotiate with the data center. In this particular case, it was a crypto mining facility. And they met all the ordinances, but when they turned it on for operation, it created noise that the residents immediately started complaining. So in October of 2024, June of 2024, they adopted a zoning ordinance for the entire township, which would cover data centers and battery energy storage systems. So I would suggest that the township look into a zoning ordinance for the township. It would have to cover the whole township and not just these two uses. The other thing I wanted to point out is Antrim Township is located next to Washington County, Maryland, and there's still a lot of open area in that border area. So it might be helpful to see if Maryland has any particular ordinance about zoning, because noise travels quite a distance. So I think that's the only comments I'd like to have, and it has to do with noise ordinance, pollution, the effect on citizens who live close there. Right now in Antrim Township, there probably isn't any real immediate problems, but there might be in the future. So just to try to get a heads up on it and try to have something ready instead of waiting to negotiate, it would be good. And the other thing I want to point out is when these data centers or whatever come in here, they normally always do an acoustic study. They hire some engineer. And you don't always know what assumptions they make. There was one condition I know about where the data center, they did their acoustic analysis, everything worked out okay, and it looked all right. But they didn't point out that the assumption they used was the operation was only gonna use at 40% capacity. And maybe that's what they used to start. But as they built on, they will continue to add on. So I would also suggest that the township have a acoustic engineering firm review any and all studies that whoever comes in here to do. And I think that's it.
Bob,
Thank you.
quick question. The township that you referenced about the noise issues, do you know what township that is?
Yeah, it's Salem Township in Luzerne County.
Salem?
Salem. They built a crypto mining facility right across the street from the nuclear power.
Okay, that's one
But
thing.
right now,
Do a little research.
Amazon is buying up the property. And they're planning to build a data center.
Mhm.
And they're gonna buy up 160 acres.
Okay.
So it's gonna be huge. So that's the township that put that ordinance together.
Got
And it'll apply, from now on.
Thank you, Bob.
And I have a copy of the ordinance.
Yeah, that'd be great, sure.
You can have it.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Drop something there, buddy.
That's not the right one.
Okay. Thanks, Bob.
Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for pointing out a lot of things there, Bob.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can I stand here or do I need to stand at the microphone?
I'd rather if you could stand,
Okay.
come up here to the microphone so that it's recorded and everybody else.
Okay, my
Tomorrow
voice
can
can
hear you.
carry.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, my name is Steve Payne. I live on 3703 West River Road in Greencastle. And I just have a couple of questions. One is that I understand that they consume large quantities of water to do this if they're open system instead of a closed loop system. Can the township cap water usage? Are you legally allowed to do that? Okay. That would be my first question, because I would encourage that, only to disincentivize it. Because if you can't prohibit it, if you can make it not worth their while, okay, in a kind way. The other thing is, can you have penalties if they exceed that? Can you extract financial penalties?
It would be a notice of violation, and
I'm
then
sorry.
it would be a notice of violation, and so we would have to send them a letter saying that basically they violated the ordinance, and they would have so many days to correct it. If they fail to correct it, we have to go through the judicial system, and we would file a civil complaint against them with the district justice, and then the judge would assess the penalties, which is $500 per day.
That's it.
And that's what we're held to by law.
Oh, and you can't, okay.
We can't, we don't have fining powers.
Oh, you don't, okay, that was a good question. Can you also cap, electricity usage?
No.
You cannot do that. Can you,
That falls under public utilities.
I'm sorry?
That falls under,
Oh, it does, okay. Can you, make it a part of the conditions to use, let's say, 50% renewable as far as your energy usage?
No.
Cannot do that either, okay. So mostly
we can cap the amount of sewage.
That's not much of a difference. The other thing is that as a resident, I would just say if we can not, if one's proposed, don't offer them any tax breaks. That would be, to me, one of the biggest disincentives to them, instead of putting the burden on the taxpayers. And that's all I have.
If they're in the LERTA district.
I'm sorry.
If they're in the LERTA district,
The what district? I'm sorry.
LERTA.
Oh.
Okay, that's the tax incentive districts.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
We've got that here?
Yes. Been here for
Oh, man.
about
I'm behind the time.
almost 15 years. Yes.
So these are tax privileges you give
Anybody
to anybody?
in those.
Oh, in
districts,
those, okay, gotcha.
In those districts.
But you need to understand, Antrim Township doesn't have a property tax, so that we're not giving any, there's no break to
Is the
anyone.
county?
The county has a property tax, but they're not participating in LRTA. The
Oh.
school district, it's up to them as to whether or not they would want this particular business to be eligible for the LRTA benefit.
Oh, really?
That's their call.
Oh, okay. So that's the meeting I have to attend to, that's, to encourage them to
To not.
not, that's the only questions I have. Thank you.
Steve, what's your last name again?
I'm sorry.
What's your last name again?
Payne, P-A-I-N-E.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Lisa Phillips, PO Box 311, State Line. I have a well, like many people do, and a concern for me would be the water usage that they would have. I've read that even in a closed system, they still use a lot of water, and they discharge a lot of water as wastewater, which could pollute the groundwater. And I live in State Line, there's not really any other option than a well. And, you know, we all kind of have our, even Greencastle has wells, and we all have our straws in the same soda, but they got a lot bigger straw. So, you know, that's my concerns, along with many of us, is the water usage, the electric usage. Many places, their power bills have gone up a lot, and of course, the noise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
How's it going? My name is Chris Phineas. I just came to say thank you for all the plowing you guys did. It was a tough storm Saturday night. You guys probably worked all week and worked all Sunday and
Different public
that's a
Yes.
different public comment.
Yes. That'll be after this hearing.
Oh, well, that's all I
comment.
wanted
Not
to
to
say.
cut you off, but thank you.
Right.
Thanks, Chris.
Come back up and come back.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate it nonetheless.
We'll see you later.
Still add that to the record.
My name is Steve Shoemaker. I live at 9075 Glendale Avenue, Greencastle, 10225. And just so I can be clear, this ordinance change is basically to protect us from the data. It's not to allow it, it's to add these contingencies so that if it does come, at that point, we can say, hey, wait, this needs done, that needs done, that. So at this point, obviously when I'm reading Facebook, I'm concerned, that, oh crap. But at this point, it just sounds like you're just trying to protect the community, not allow it.
Right.
That's all I need. Thank you.
interpreted correctly.
Thank you.
Steve, what was your last name again?
Shoemaker.
Shoemaker, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Bob?
Emily's court.
7498 Needle Road.
How do you know he didn't move?
Anyway,
He
I
was a
echo
very
what
chill
Bob said. The noise is off. I'm telling you. Just imagine when you go down to Giant or Martin's and you walk by that little charging station there. That's just one thing for one electric car. And that whine off of those fans is obscene. Think about that when you're talking megawatts of power. And the only way that they can get the DC power for their computers to run that is 5 volts DC, 12 volts DC. They have to take the AC voltage and run it through inverters. That's what they're doing down there at your little charging station next to this grocery store. Imagine that for megawatts. You need an ordinance for noise big time. So I'm with Bob on that one. You guys got to get that in place. And I can back that up with the electronic hearing booth.
Yes, sir.
My name is Joseph Anderson. I live at 120 Orchard Circle. My family and I moved here back in September. We're enjoying the community immensely. I come from a technology background, so I work in audiovisual systems. And I've had a chance to do work with said technology all over the country. One of the primary customers of the first company that I worked for was Southern California Edison. And I have worked doing audiovisual systems that were housed in data centers or server rooms even, which is a much smaller scale from data center. in some of their buildings, and I can second the comments of these gentlemen, that the noise is a real factor, considering the fact that we were not allowed to enter these data centers or server rooms even without hearing protection for OSHA. It is quite a factor to consider. Another thing is maybe a more unique perspective, having worked directly with a very large power company, Southern California Edison pretty much powers the entirety of the two lower thirds of California. When they were doing projects of this scale, they didn't just pull off the grid that was already there. They would have to build whole new generation centers and management centers to power these kinds of things. Southern California Edison in particular was a pioneering company in battery storage. And I can tell you that they had quite a few challenges with noise, water, environmental impact, and just the electricity supply that they needed while working on these innovations. So I can, I appreciate that these definitions and the rezoning is to protect our community, because it is quite a lovely community. But just to reiterate what perspectives that protection should be approached from. You have the water, you have the noise, you have the electrical supply, which is exponential from most other things you may have experienced. There's definitely environmental impact as well. One of the big issues that, again, Southern California Edison had was that Southern California Edison has a large incentive towards renewable energy, and their main, being California, their main choice there is solar. Some of the unexpected results were that the large collection of solar panels can have an effect on cloud cover. It can cause clouds to evaporate, so less rain and so on and so forth. So even in the sense of renewable energy, that can also have its own impacts. Generalized, heat off of these facilities is incredible, and they have to put, a ridiculous amount of cooling in these places, which just adds to the heat output, because they have to exchange hot air with cold air in the facility. So just things to keep in mind, perspectives to keep at the top of your mind, and I appreciate that you are trying to protect our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? One more call. Anyone else? Okay. There being no further testimony, I will accept the motion to adjourn the hearing.
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I now reconvene the regular meeting. Action may be taken at this time.
Go public comment.
The guy you chased off, where's he at? He needs to get up here.
He left.
You left?
He left.
Then I put my hand up.
As long as you said something about the excellent snow plowing job.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I told her, you stole my thunder. Anyway, whenever you're ready for public comment, let me know. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, you guys got my name and everything. I ain't standing up there at my, I'm gonna yell at you.
Take action on the
That's what I asked, but,
Anyway, long story short, you guys did a wonderful job plowing snow this year, so far.
I don't want you listening to
I'm
it.
happy,
it's-
you know what, so we'll just leave it at that. You did good.
Okay, let's go back to, do we wish to take action on the proposed, the proposal to change the zoning?
Yeah. Sure.
Well, first of all, I do want to thank everybody for their testimony, and some of the things that were addressed are things that, this is why this is conditional use. Bob, for example, some of the things you're bringing up, you'll have a direct say in that.
You betcha.
I would imagine if you stay on the planning commission, you
Well, if
would be
you guys
making some of
leave me
those
alone,
suggestions
I'll
to
be
the
there.
planning commission, right? What's that?
We'll never leave you alone.
So, that's exactly, precisely why our zoning officer and staff here along with the input from the supervisors, have proposed handling data centers in this manner.
Absolutely.
Okay, because it gives us a lot more control over imposing reasonable, remember that word, right? Reasonable conditions on these types of things.
So
So
this is your biggie. Plus the water.
reasonable conditions, that's right.
Yep.
So, anyway, that being said,
Yeah, John, we asked the zoning officer to work on this a little bit ago because we are seeing in Montgomery County, Maryland, they're putting these centers in housing developments.
Wrong answer.
So,
that's not just Montgomery, that's Northern Virginia.
Northern Virginia,
I mean, I built half of them.
right. And the thing is they don't have to, what people would refer to as a mega center, they're also making them into smaller buildings too, so they can, let's just say, invade other areas.
We don't have that happen here.
We don't have enough power in this area to support a center, but if other places make it too hard for them to build, they'll look for the easiest place. And without this ordinance, we would be that place. So that's why we're trying to get ahead here. And with what Bob Colanado said, and our buddy Bob here said,
You still
Mouse.
have to live with it, Bucko.
we want to get this on the books as soon as possible. But we will keep, like anything else, endeavor to enhance it for our people.
There you go.
You need a motion, Mr. Chairman,
If you would
to
please.
add this to our,
Ordinance.
to amend our zoning ordinance. I'll make a motion to amend the zoning ordinance as detailed by our zoning officer, Sylvia House.
Who's that?
That's my-
Oh. Jason.
I have to give Chad his.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. According to the new regulations, that can go into effect as of right now, correct?
Good
Yes.
deal.
That is in effect as of now.
Good deal. Awesome.
There you go.
It used to be you had to wait so many days.
5 days. 5 days, you wait.
There you go.
Is it public comment yet?
I just can't wait to
Duh.
speak some more.
I'll open it up for public comment.
Step in.
Somebody besides Bob.
Mrs.
This is Bob.
This is quick, I just noticed a camera in the
70.
room, I'm just
Yeah,
wondering
what's the story?
who is filming, who's filmed this tonight?
I don't know. Who's filming?
It's a YouTube channel called Seaberg Live. I'm actually with some of the other people. I saw it on Facebook where they said, "Hey, there's a data center coming to Greencastle and the meeting's tonight." And I'm like, "What?" So I'm driving down to,
Okay.
but I'm glad to hear otherwise.
Good.
Just get our good angles up.
Yeah, there you go.
That's
Can we go ahead and get your name and address?
I am Frank.
And what YouTube channel?
It's called Seaberg Live.
Seaberg, like Chambersburg, Seaberg.
Exactly.
CBURG. Got it. There you go.
Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for
But
coming.
yeah, as you check it out, it's not one of those "I've got you" channels or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Well, you see some of that stuff online. That's not me.
Anyone else? Public comment. There'll be another public comment time at the end of the meeting.
Can it wait till then, Bob?
Yeah, it's just, I was here to give you guys out of boys again at the right time in the meeting, so it comes into the minutes right.
Yeah, we'll take the attaboy.
Yeah,
There you
boy
go.
is there, that's what I'm getting.
That's what we love.
Our road chairman's always looking for a pat on the back.
Hey, it ain't just him, it was our plow driver, I think.
Well, let's see. There's
The guy with the beard.
There's three of them that are plowing.
I did catch your road on my way.
They all three of these guys were
I
plowing.
saw you in there, you got past too quick right away.
Yeah.
But y'all did great, I'm happy.
Anyone else under public comment? Yes, ma'am.
Wendy Eastside, I'm at 15620 Wedgewood Drive in Greencastle. Couple of things, I want to thank you. for getting the signs up on Greenmont. That was a big help. It got cold shortly thereafter, so I haven't been bicycling through there. So, but when I've driven through, it appears that the truck situation has really gotten under control. So thank you. And then on a couple of other notes, the development that's coming behind Nottingham Meadows. I don't know if it's still gonna be called Whispering Spring or something like that. Whispering Willows, yeah. The water main that had to be tapped into on Wedgewood Drive. Not that that was a problem that happened, but boy, I mean, it was a big disturbance. They weren't flagging people around, you couldn't get by. They really need to like help people through that intersection when stuff like that happens, because the road is pretty much blocked.
I think after the second time I yelled at them, they did finally get the drift, but unfortunately it took 2 days.
Yeah. And on that note, with walking my pet through there after dark, and you know they're still there. Ooh, the foul mouths on those fellows too. And it's a kid-friendly neighborhood, so that was a lot of loud talking. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Then, I have to bring up, because again, somebody said, read on Facebook, so who knows if it's true or not, the possibility of an ICE detention center at State Line, Washington County, City Corp, whatever, I have no idea like what's happening. Does anybody know? And are we talking with Washington County and
We're always talking with Washington County. Don't believe 90% of what you read on Facebook.
Right.
That's all I can tell you.
Right. Well, that,
It's a useful
and the
tool to
Washington
stay in
Post, too,
touch
stated
with
that.
your former classmates and friends and family and share pictures and all. But it is a fountain of misinformation.
Right.
Absolutely, positively. So I would tell you, we know of nothing going on other than there's a warehouse somewhere
Correct. In the last,
that's down by Love's Trucks.
Yeah.
At Mogginsville, that there has been planned for years to have a detention facility.
Phases 8, 9, and 10, authorization for the chairman to sign.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
5-0.
There are 2 small sections of sidewalk that will not be built with phases 8, 9, and 10 of the Greens of Greencastle. They have put money in an escrow account that we can use to have those sidewalks completed whenever Heritage Estates West makes those connections. Authorization for the chairman to sign that agreement as needed.
Motion approved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
5-0.
The first plan on the agenda is Core 5 at Mason Dixon LLC. It's a land development plan off of Greenmount Road for 4 warehouses. They did not provide us with an extension request, and the plan does expire on January 31st, so the board does have to take action on that plan tonight. Communications were sent from our special counsel to their attorney, and they did not respond to that email. And therefore, since we are out of time and the plan is not adequate because the traffic study is not in compliance with our regulations and does not reflect the correct information that it needs, we are looking for a motion to deny the plan.
Motion to deny.
Harry Cochran. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
5-0.
Okay, we need to send a denial letter within 15 days. Mr. Mills, will you be preparing that?
Yeah.
Or will we have another meeting within the next, we'll have another meeting within 15 days, correct? Okay, if
yeah.
you can get that for them to approve at the next meeting. Yeah, no, I think we're okay.
February 10th.
Yeah,
So we're good.
yeah, 10th we meet, February 10th. Okay.
15 regular days.
Okay.
We got eight, we got, it's four,
Yep.
it's 13.
Yep.
Yeah.
Say I want the JV on to that.
Pardon?
I want the JV on to
Oh, you didn't do that that quick?
What'd you say? JV education?
He said they didn't, he went to JV, they didn't teach.
Oh, man. That is savage.
Math is not our strong.
Holy cow.
Hey, Mr. Mills?
That's brutal.
Yeah, Zach, thank you very
Yes,
much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything, Zach. Yes.
Drive carefully.
Yeah, don't wreck on our road.
Don't wreck anywhere. On any road.
The next plan on the agenda is Myers Enterprise. That land is a land development plan off of Zarga Road. Everything is in order for this plan that adds 6 silos to an existing greenery. Everything is in order and it is ready for it.
Motion to approve.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Greens of Greencastle phases 8, 9, and 10 is a 153 unit subdivision off of Shannon Drive South. Everything is in order and it is ready for approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 5-0.
The final plan on the agenda is Greens of Greencastle Golf Course Stay and Play and Main Access Drive. That plan will need to be tabled. The ATMA's meeting did not happen last night. Therefore, the ATMA has not acted on that plan yet. This will just show up on your next or your first meeting in February, I suppose.
Motion table.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 ATMA's meeting in February.
Yes.
Okay. So, yep, it'll come to your first meeting in February. Under financial security, we have 2 letters of, or actually, I'm sorry, those are bonds. We have 2 bonds for Antrim Commons Business Park, Lot 7R, Conservancy Lane. The first one is the site improvement security in the amount of $1,290,259.36. They have worked on the site, but have not requested a reduction. Authorization to renew in the same amount is requested.
That's for both.
That is only
One
for the
and two.
site, and, well, this first one is only for the site improvement.
Okay. Motion to approve.
Second.
The second security they are holding is for the construction. Oh, sorry.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 5-0.
The second one is for the construction of Conservancy Lane. Again, most of the work is done. However, we are holding $459,062.45. Authorization to renew in the same amount is requested.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 And that's all the items I have on the agenda.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Solicitors.
Oh, I have no comment.
Wow.
Down in the yellow jacket.
By the way, don't get off the hook that easy. Quick executive afterwards. Like 3 minutes.
I've heard that.
Yeah. If JV doesn't do math that well.
Ooh. I brought that on myself. Very quick report. We're in the winter time. I just want to give kudos to our planning and zoning department, as always, to Sylvia and Amber. They keep a lot of things behind the scenes going that people would not really see, just like all the things that we talked about this evening. So kudos to them. Jen as well, I have to say, I had I don't want to say a rare occasion, because you will find Jen here off hours many times doing her thing. But it was nice on Saturday before we went out before the snowstorm. I'm like, I need our emergency declaration. And Jen was sitting in her office right beside me, and I called over. She was like, I'll send it right to you. And I'm like, this is very weird. I'm not used to this at 6 o'clock on Saturday evening.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Parks, everything's going in good there, getting ready for spring. The park will be back open tomorrow. Of course, the guys have, been out there cleaning up, so it will be open tomorrow. However, if you want to play pickleball, then don't count on that for a while. I only say that because I've seen people out there when it's 15 degrees playing pickleball. I don't get it, but
Dedication.
yeah. Roads, very easy update. It snowed. And we've been busy, and kudos to Supervisors Young, Murray, and Jason, who were out there anywhere from 3 a.m. to, Chad and I had to see each other this morning at 3 a.m., so we're still kicking. Yeah, the guys did a great job. Again, always learning experiences. I think every storm brings new opportunities, struggles, successes. Big kudos to our mechanic for the public. If you didn't know, we have a great mechanic, Evan Strasner. We wouldn't know what to do without him. There were 2 trucks that went down, and he brought them back to life. I don't want to say quick, for Evan, quick, but yeah, we wouldn't know what to do without him. Sewer water, normal operations. They've obviously been busy down in our neighboring Quincy Township, assisting them, which of course will be on the agenda here in a little bit. I do want to say to your ice comment a minute ago, as we were sitting here, I don't know if it was coincidence or maybe the camera gentleman, somebody was following that, which would be even funnier. But I was sent an article that apparently a real estate purchase was made for a facility, but it is located in Williamsport now. 16220 Wright Road. It's not near us. Just want to say that. Other than that, if you want, we can jump right in on item 10A.
Sounds good.
10A, you have the Guilford Township agreement in front of you, which is for them to run sewer lines to 5 or 6 houses along Angle Road. For us, obviously, it doesn't make sense for us to extend our lines out in that direction.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next, you have a sewage pump agreement for the standard of 2917 Hill Road.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So items C, D, and E all relate to our assistance temporarily in Quincy Township, which, as you all know, is going pretty smoothly. Again, it's always nice to have our neighbors. So the first one is to adopt by resolution number 393, allowing the township to enter into intergovernmental agreements.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Item D is to approve the intergovernmental agreement with Quincy Township and authorize the chairman to sign.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item 10E is to authorize myself to sign the joint representation conflict waiver with Quincy.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 5-0.
Item F is to affirm the emergency snow declaration, which EMC Alderman and myself discussed. Basically, that just allows us the ability, if we do get funds from FEMA, it gives us the ability to.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. 5-0.
That's all I have for you.
Supervisor Harity.
So, yes, thank you. To my fellow supervisors who sacrificed much of their time, appreciate all your efforts during this storm, and to our road crew and those behind the scenes that support them. Thank you. And we appreciate all that you do in keeping our community safe, so I do appreciate that. Sorry I missed out on it, but
Next one.
I had to be at a funeral, so that's where I had to be. Also, we love having visitors here. We rarely get them. So We're so happy. All the regulars are kind of in the front row there. And then Ann behind. All the regulars are kind of there. So, but we appreciate people coming out. And if for any other reason than just to get the correct information, that is important for you to come here. And if you can't make it here, listen to our minutes. You'll hear as the meeting evolved. And, you know, Facebook's it's a great, amusing kind of a thing. But it's so...
Unreliable.
You just sometimes want to pound your head against the wall because people can be so uneducated about what would take 30 seconds on Google to find out, and that's too much time. So come to the meetings and be engaged with local elected officials, whether it's township, borough, school board, county, whatever. Please come and keep coming. You know, whether there's an important topic on the agenda or not, just come because we love to have visitors. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. And I'll yield the remainder of my time to Supervisor Young.
Oh, gee. Well said, Supervisor Hardy. I'll echo your comment. We have a good staff, a lot of dedicated people here, and they were ready for 2 feet of snow, and they got less than that. So sorry for the disappointment. Got to take that up with the guy up there.
That's good. That's good.
But they were ready for a lot more. So well done. Plenty of salt, plenty of cinders, plenty of fuel, plenty of labor. So and plenty of chili.
Nice.
But yeah, it all worked out good so far, and there's still cleanup going on. So thank you. Well planned out from our roadmaster. Comment tonight I want to say about volunteerism. So when we sign checks every meeting we have here, one of the checks I signed in there, I just took notice of it, was $25,000 to the rescue hose, and that is for labor costs. Okay, we didn't sign those checks probably as recently as 7 years ago. We didn't have those kind of checks to sign. That's $25,000 for I think the last
That's a
quarter.
Yeah.
Right. So those costs keep going up. That's just our share. The borough also has a share. We pay 75%. So that the overall bill is I think a little over $30,000 for the last quarter. That's not that bad comparatively to other municipalities, but it's tremendously more than it used to be. And that's because of volunteerism. We don't have that as much anymore. Do we, John?
No.
So as you're here and you think about ways you can help your community, think about being a volunteer EMS person, helping out with the fire company, helping with the ambulance squad, that kind of stuff. They are dwindling, and it's costing us more and more and more. Myself, Supervisor Cochran, and Supervisor Allman attended, along with Chris, the Marion Fire Company's banquet a few weeks ago. It's nice to be able to applaud those volunteers, and I'm pleased that we had a strong showing there to support them. So thank you all for attending that, and thank our volunteers. It's only once a year, but we can thank them every time we see them. So when you see them out there, thank them for all they do. And another set of volunteers came to us back in November and made a request for a capital campaign that they're working on to improve baseball facilities and softball facilities for our youth here in Greencastle. We don't see that very often when we see a major improvement to a privately run organization like GAPS is proposing, and they are working on it. They're diligently raising funds. So one of their members, in fact, it was Mr. Benitez who came in and gave us kudos in the wrong section of the meeting, but he made an appeal on behalf of GAPS. He's on their capital campaign. If we would consider a donation of $30,000 to that capital campaign to improve their facilities, and they service a lot of youth here in Greencastle Borough and Antrim Township. So we designated a fund that we get from landfill funds several years ago called the Community Fund, and that's money donated from the landfill that goes into a fund that we can support projects like this. So I'd like to make a motion that we give them a $30,000 donation as a match. So my motion would be that for a period of up to 6 months, we'd do a dollar for dollar match with funds they raise throughout the community for their project. Dollar for dollar for a maximum of $30,000 for a period of 6 months from this date, whatever that turns out to be. Because I'll tell you, I'd rather have them improve their facilities than us building more, because they maintain them. They, you know, there's a lot of maintenance that goes into this, and we know what those costs are just for our fields. And we have 5 ball fields, and I'm thinking, how many soccer fields out there?
Oh,
That's too quick, didn't I?
That's 7.
yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, our costs to maintain those kind of things are really expensive, so I think it's a very, well, very worthwhile endeavor. So that's my motion.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Supervisor Harry.
Okay. You heard the motion in the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
4-1.
I have a question. What facilities? Why don't you tell us where they're at?
Well, formerly, for us older people, the Hoco Field.
Hoco Field, yeah, is there anything else?
That's
Any
it.
other facilities? Just that
No.
one? The old Hoco Field?
One of the things is they want to replace the lights that have been up there
Oh,
for
I know what you mean.
at
They've been there
least,
forever.
at least 50 years.
Yeah. I remember when they first got them. They were used when they got them. Anyway, they need LED ones there if they don't have them already.
Fred, do you know what it's not called Hoco Field anymore. It's
So, and just for the public, it wasn't here. They made an appeal and it was on the agenda back in November. So it's for, they have Clary Field, Hurst Field, and Zeiss Field. There's 3 fields
That's
in
what
the
I
borough.
need to know.
Yeah, I don't.
That's where they were at. That's all I was asking.
Yeah, right in the borough. It's where they used to be. It's
So in the
location
borough.
removed. They changed the name.
it's that complex.
That's that complex.
The Gansett complex. Right?
Okay.
Suits you too as me. I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And another thing for volunteers, I did see before I yield the remainder of my time to Jason Cochran, MMP&W over in, you're familiar with this, that's the volunteer EMS company over in Mercersburg, Montgomery Township, that area, Peters Township, I think. I understand they're having an emergency meeting here, well,
Mercersburg, Montgomery, Peters, and Warren Townships.
very well said, yes, that's what it is. But I think they're having a whole meeting to discuss this very issue about volunteerism and the rising costs for paid staff for their public up there. I think in the next few weeks I just saw that. So it's a real thing. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll leave the remainder of my time to Supervisor Cochran.
I don't know, Fred, you went so long. I
No,
forgot what I
no.
was gonna say.
Why? Because I took space.
I'd just like to thank everybody that did come out, just like, the fellow supervisors did. I think it's great when everybody gets involved and comes out, voices their opinion, and allows us to hear what they have to say without having to try to find it on Facebook and read through all the pissed off citizens that don't understand exactly what's going on with what's going on. Other than that, thank you all for coming out. I hope you all enjoyed the view and the meeting.
Pass on to Murray.
I apologize for the view because you had that.
Hey, speak for yourself.
I mean, everybody has complimented staff, and I can say it's been phenomenal how they work together and get everything accomplished. I want to compliment our community. 90% of the people out there are helpful when you're out working on the roads, are appreciative. You get a couple waves that they didn't quite get their whole hand up. But we can only do so much. It was just ironic when we were out, we opened up, excuse me. I'm trying to talk, so thank you. We're out opening all of our roads up, but PennDOT did not do anything except the primaries. Whenever they came back out late Sunday night, Monday, that makes us go back and open up all the intersections again. So we understand what it's like when your driveway gets plowed shut afterwards. But that sets us back. I mean, we had 6 people doing nothing other than opening intersections back up that had been plowed shut again. We have to understand because there's only so many places you can put snow. If you live in a cul-de-sac, I apologize, there's nowhere to put the snow. But thank you all for your cooperation when you're out there. Friendly people offering you hot drinks. It's nice to live in the community that we do. Thank you all.
And shameless plug for Supervisor Murray, because he took the brunt work of the intersections, and nobody likes doing it.
I'd like to reiterate just about everything that's been said so far. We have a problem with our administrator sometimes. We have to get him Band-Aids for his tongue because he reads Facebook. And he bites his tongue most of the time. Sometimes he doesn't. But in most cases, I haven't heard any complaints from the plowers that there was much parking in the streets where they were trying to plow, especially the ones that we in the past few months put signs up that said no parking. I heard there was one that was parked there for a little bit, but he was just visiting. That's what you said.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the I don't go out and plow. They don't let me out in trucks to do that. But I do.
No, you can go out. You just got to get permission from somebody else that's not here. But you're more than welcome to go out. Don't blame it on us.
Somebody out here in the audience knows all about that one. Anyway, one of the things I do monitor, not all the time, but a good bit of the time, what's being said on radio. And there's a couple up here that have diarrhea of the mouth. But in all, listening to our employees, how can I say they were enjoying themselves, but they weren't disgruntled in most cases. They were, and when you have, I'll say, happy employees, they work better. And so if you're out along the road and you see our guys, wave to them with the whole hand.
The whole hand. That's good.
Just one finger.
Because really, they do appreciate that you're thinking of them because they're trying to think of you. And yes, unfortunately, driveways do get plowed shut, but you can't take care of that individually. Like I say, I haven't heard any complaints from either the crews or the public. If they have, let us know. Now, I haven't heard of any mailboxes.
Not bad. When we take.
And I heard a stop sign.
Yeah.
So
there was a step. Yeah, there's
a couple things, but all in all, for the how many miles are we up to now? 100 and what?
116.
116 miles, and we'll be adding about 3 more here shortly. So again, we now are the largest.
Not the what we're second.
We're the second largest in Franklin County of mileage.
Green.
Second to what, green?
Green. So, again, thank you all for coming out this evening. And with that, I'll go to public comment.
I have a question about the Angle Road sewer thing. It flew through so fast I couldn't get it.
We know it, but name and address.
Bill Blair, 2444 McDowell Road, Greencastle. They're on Angle Road. They're running sewer line out to 5 or 6 houses, correct? Is that going to be a mandatory hookup if it goes by the house? They will have a choice.
You agree with them?
Okay, that was one thing I was wondering about.
From what I understand, it was initiated by some of those people.
Yeah, well, I figured that, but not everyone might be on board with that. Okay.
Now, if their on-lot system fails, they will be compelled to hook.
Unless they have, well, that gets into semantics,
Right.
because normally you have space for a reserve field and all that. If, like I live on 2.5 acres, so I would have room to put another system in. And secondly, on the FPR front, there was a win in Clinton County Court, awarded pretty major damages in a civil lawsuit to a family that was brought against Nichols Meatpacking. But the Clinton County Court awarded them all kinds of different levels of damages, some to their daughter because of loss of being able to play outside. They had ruined well, but it was a major, all these different levels of payments that went out. I forwarded that to Chad Reichard. I have a letter drafted right now to the regulatory head of the PA Farm Bureau, and basically asking him if this is how he thinks farmers ought to be conducting business, losing lawsuits or going to court, and that the company's going to appeal. Obviously, they won in Clinton County, which is probably a little biased because of it being there. They'll probably appeal it to, the Superior Court of Pennsylvania. Hard to say what'll happen, but it was already awarded. They lost earlier in court on the case, but then they refiled as a civil suit, and they did win. So,
And the meat packer bill was the generator
yes,
of the waste.
yes, the meat packer they actually were the generator and the spreader.
Oh, well, there you go.
So, and that's been going on up there for a while.
Gotcha.
And this has been an ongoing thing, and they were closed for a while because of some problems they had. Then they reopened, but this was a result of them spreading, and they were really close to property lines. A lot of stuff out of it came to be. There was they even quoted in the lawsuits and expert testimony the lacking of any regulations in the manual.
And they were an out-of-state generator.
No,
No?
they were in Clinton County,
Oh, gotcha.
spreading and making. They're a meat packing company.
Okay.
They're just like any other meat, but they were spreading right there in the community. But
Got it.
again, improper practices, wrong ground, whatever.
Got it.
No. So anyway, that's just something to be aware of. That trying to get it moved out of the Farm Bureau right now seems to be the sticking point. And one of the things I noted in the letter was, I know here in Antrim Township, between lawyers, the farmer, the hauler, and our citizens, they have spent many, many hundreds of thousands of dollars. Our township has spent a lot of money on this. So that's not going to end until we get something done. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Ann LaRue, 2140 Castle Green Drive. I just wanted to say tonight's meeting was very informative. I really learned a lot. I wanted to also say that at the last meeting that I attended, and I heard the residents of Zarger Road talk about their issues with the plan that you just approved tonight. I was really, really moved by their testimony and what they were enduring. I was also impressed with the supervisor's reaction to their testimony. I could see you all react. I could see that you really could walk a mile in their moccasins, if you will. So I appreciate that about you, and my question would be, if noise ordinances can be a part of what you all will be doing is trying to discourage data centers and battery plants, I'm wondering how noise ordinances would affect the folks on Zarger Road, because that was one of their main complaints, besides the particulates in the air, the noise that they have to endure. I drove out there after that meeting just to experience it, and I have to say I really had a lot of empathy for them. So, and the other thing now that you've decided to grant some money and do a one-on-one match for the ball fields, I remember when that presentation was made in November. I was here at that meeting, and one of the things Supervisor Young said was that it was important to him to support things that got kids off their phones and having them outside playing ball. And I endorse that 100%. And in that spirit, I would ask you all to consider donating again and putting into your budget next year some money for the Basehor Library. That is also a place that takes kids away from their phones. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Andrew.
Anyone else under public comment? Yes, sir.
Hurley, 2505 Buchanan Trail East, Greencastle. I came to this meeting tonight because of 2 emergency texts I received, because the township was bringing data centers. That's why I came. So I'm glad I heard what I did. But I also heard you say about volunteerism. And our church is doing a day of service, a interfellowship day of service, April 18th. And we would love to do something here in the community if you have anything that needs done.
Yeah.
So if you would take that consideration, we'd really like to help those that are in need.
Yeah.
That can't help themselves.
Sure.
So we could probably have 20 to 40 people for the day. We'll supply the labor if you'll supply the needs.
That's great.
So
Can we contact you?
you can contact me. Yeah, you can contact me. And I'm gonna say something else. And I hesitate to say this, I hope it's taken in the spirit it is given. The township had an auction last week. I don't know if it was successful or not. I do auctions, you all know that. I talked to some of the supervisors about the hiring process. And the people you hired are personal friends of mine. They're good people, I really like them. They specialize in benefit auctions. In fact, they were hired by the National Auctioneer Association to teach how to do benefit auctions. I was hired by the National Auctioneer Association on how to sell real estate. I would hope that in the future that we at least get considered for working in the township. Being here for 25 years, I'm not upset that I didn't get it, but I wish I would have been at least considered. So I hope that is taken in the spirit it's given. No hard feelings. I get it. I'm in business, it works that way. But I would hope that local companies are considered for working in the township. And then please consider our plea for things to do here in the township. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bob?
Well, after hearing what Ann had to say about the Zarba Road, agricultural operations can get exemptions for all kinds of stuff, the way it's written. But there is a clause in the Right to Farm Act, and it says there's a direct adverse effect. The exemption does not apply if the agricultural operation has a direct effect on public health and safety. Now, I listened to some of these people from the last meeting on the online presentation, and my own opinion is there is some public health and safety issues going on right there. So you might want to consider that while you're still negotiating with the people as far as the operation of that. I understand there's no problem with the ordinances to build the thing and to do it, but the operation is a completely different story. So they're not exempt from applying operations that affect public health and safety. That's all.
Thanks, Bob. Anyone else under public comment? To reiterate about, we're happy when people come here. You know, sometimes you are going to educate us. In fact, we did get some education here this evening. So please bear that in mind. We're not omnipotent. We do try to listen to other people, other than on Facebook. So we will have a executive session. Any decision about the? No.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn regular session and enter executive session 8:22 p.m.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.